This clip is going to be around the topic of suicide. I think it's important to touch on, one, to help prevent the deaths of maybe people that are feeling chemically imbalanced or challenged by life, and we don't want them to do something drastic. I bring through people who pass of suicides on a pretty regular basis, and it's unfortunate because they do always come through and say that if they were as clear as they are now in spirit, that they never would have done something so drastic, but at the time that they didn't feel in control of themselves. But they do also like to reinforce that if they had the chance to do it over again, they do things differently. So this clip is so for those of you out there that can identify with a feeling of being depressed or having an imbalance that's just dragging you down and feeling like you're not sure why you're here. That sort of thought process can lead to something darker, and sometimes the person that you least expect would do something so drastic is exactly the person that does. So obviously there's many resources out there for people that have depression, but I wanted to speak to you from a different point of view, being that of somebody that speaks to suicides who have passed and the regret that they share. So if you're having any of these feelings and thoughts that are bogging you down, consider that at least when you're alive, you can fix it. Once you've passed, you're also leaving your family with a lot of the problems and the baggage involved with picking up the pieces that the person that died left behind, which is another thing. The deceased always carries a bit of guilt over having to witness the people they love feel like they didn't matter because the loved one took their own life. So that, the living are good at carrying the whys and ifs and the what ifs in life, and so we don't want to leave that kind of a mark with our existence. So it's always important to get help when you're feeling destitute. Another point of view that I'd like to focus on is that of the ones that are left behind. When the people that are left behind, to pick up the fragments of life that are left when somebody does take their own life, don't blame yourself. This is something that you couldn't stop. This is something that was a hasty decision made by somebody that wasn't in a right frame of mind, and sometimes it's just as simple as that. And unfortunately, it's up to you to move forward through life and continue living. It's something you can take up with the deceased when your time comes and you cross, but you can't carry the guilt of feeling in any way that you had a hand in it or that you could have changed it. So it's important to drop that feeling of this enormous burden that you could carry through life, and instead decide to live for you and for the person who's passed. So I hope that this helps give a little bit of understanding to both where a spirit is when they do commit suicide, like what they're experiencing as far as the depression or the feeling of helplessness, and encouraging people to get the help that they need in the hotlines, and talk to people and doctors until you're blue in the face or until somebody listens to you, but your life is worth saving. And for those of you that are experiencing the turmoil after effects, after losing somebody in such a painful way, remember they do love you, they're clear of mind, they're not imbalanced anymore, and they're rooting for you, and they're sorry. So hopefully this will resonate with you.